I can't think of another time where treasuries have been really one of the best trades in terms of the bull side. It's been a while. Treasuries are not really trade objects, they're more investments. Home builders, still pretty good, becoming very dull. You can see here, it just made a new high, but it hasn't really broken out or anything. One to watch, of course, we'll be watching home builders and transportations. What about Dr. Copper? What's Copper doing? No breakout, no high. So I keep getting alert sets here, but I don't get the closes I want. So 3.95, still an area for copper. And if copper breaks out, I think that could be really strong for overall the stock market. So something we'll be looking at and we'll be following. Copper not coming with the trend just yet. Now, we also want to talk commodities because I've noticed that we've gapped down here on DBC, which is the commodities, one of the commodity index tracking funds. And you can see that we're finding ourselves at a critical level of support. So this is kind of going into that idea that oil might be maintaining. And imagine if this thing comes out of the gates really strongly after coming down here and building that base. I think that this could be an island reversal in the happening and something that also people may want to look at. Could we see reinflation? Could we see a problem now that the Fed's like, oh, it's okay, we're doing this? Some charts are starting to suggest that, and I think it's worthwhile watching commodities into 24. Let's talk about US dollar. As we mentioned, probably go to weaken further. I've got one level here, 161, or parity in general, which is 100. So really, it looks like the US dollar is continuing to weaken. We've seen some signs of strength before, but never enough to really say the swing is on. So at this point, it's still weakness on the dollar. And take a look at that weekly close. It's really bad when you put it on the chart. Nothing good happening here on the weekly. Look at that, really, really, really negative overall. US oil, now this one's been pretty good and it got so close to my heavily traded zone. We traded to 76 a barrel. I obviously wanted this thing to about 76.50 a barrel. Really strong move. Actually a pretty nice daily close. I could see even further strength from oil and pickups coming off the shorts. I probably want to see it hold somewhere around that 73 to 73.30 zone in terms of buyers. And it just got above the daily 20 moving average, which may not seem like much, but it's been a while since it's been above there. You can see it's kind of rejected or stopped at those levels, found some problems, found some base support here, and then it's bouncing up. So yeah, a key level and certainly something I'm watching. Now, gold did a really good thing. We talked about 2070, 2075 in our last video. We hit 2070, and I actually think 2070 is the right level for it. So I feel like that was a really good breakout. We ended up getting into the strength that we wanted. It could go 75, it's possible. Gold, of course, after we kind of said it would go up, down, and all around from that point for a month, has so far done that. I could see sellers being here, but there's no signs of them really triggering a sell yet. I'd like to see a new high, maybe hit 2075, then sell off, then go underneath this level, and then we can talk about maybe further weakness. At this stage, it's in a little bit of an uptrend on the smaller time frames, but I think it's in the critical resistance zone. What do you guys think in the comments down below? We've also got another one, a key stock that is really boring at the moment, and I'm sure is frustrating a lot of people, and that's Tesla. No breakout still. Looking for a 259.70 plus breakout to give us maybe a 275 run. And at this stage, we know there's a lot of trades that have gone through here on Tesla. Take a look at this weekly. It's not really giving us any particular signs of significant weakness. So I think that with Tesla, that's something that we are looking for. And you can see here, sorry about the load there, the long leg doji, and it's just kind of indecision. So what that's telling us is that we don't really know where the market wants to go next yet, but we'd like to see a break of either side. I'd also set an alert below the low there because I think the break here could be very, very important for Tesla, especially momentum traders. I'd like to see the upside because I think that will be more aggressive due to retail traders getting in on this, but something we will be watching on the charts. Let's move over here to energy stocks. Now, energy stocks have been performing okay since we talked about them back in the middle of December. Of course, there's been better than energy stocks, but energy stocks have been all right. And we've had here no breakout in terms of a close. So you can see here long leg doji. I think oil might be performing well enough to maybe push this through, but something that's important because if it goes from here, it could go to the next resistance, which is about 87.58. And energy is still an underperforming sector, so one that we're watching. Now let's move over to the indices, and we'll just cover a few here today. First up, US 2K still looks really strong. I don't see anything stopping it just yet. At this stage, when we broke out and we had that really nice weekly close, which I mentioned would be key. I knew I didn't actually get to the video, so I apologize for that. But, sometimes family does come first, guys. And it is the Christmas cheer, yeah? And then we had here the 2030, and you could see that this was a huge close because it really confirms in many ways that the market is trying to get to that next level. Now, I've estimated the next level could be between 2090 and 21 kind of 30-ish zone, and it looks like it's well on the way there. So the Russell 2000 is starting to perform. And it brings us back to that chart we had at the start of today's video, which is also the thumbnail. And what this is showing you here is it's showing you a breakout. So this level is the IWM, the Russell 2000 versus the S&P. And it's showing you that at the moment, the Russell 2000 has been such a poor performer. But in 2024, it could start to improve really, really strongly. And it may have some nice moves in it as a ratio because, of course, this is such a critical level. So we're almost at that resistance. Russell 2K, I expect to go a little bit better. But in terms of significant outperformance of the Russell, I'd like to see it above this 0.43. And we'll be, of course, tracking that. So make sure to subscribe because this will be a key chart that we'll be watching quite a lot in the year to come. Now, NASDAQ, what's going on there? Well, it's still breaking up. Do we have any weakness signs? No. It hasn't shown any weakness yet. It's been so many weeks in front and just going bullish and bullish and bullish. But yeah, unfortunately, no changes there to the NASDAQ. You can see just continuing to push higher. It's dull. It's hard to short. Maybe you know something I don't know if you're finding some key level here, but I haven't seen anything yet. Same goes for the S&P. You can see this is at the critical zone that we have a key alert on, but not really too much shortness happening here. So, of course, this is that watch reaction level. And if you have a look at the smaller time frame charts, when you look at it, does it have any structure that shows you, wow, I want to be super short this? We did get that sell, but as we warned last week, it didn't go far enough down. So we didn't get underneath these lows. This 46.97 was looking like it was going to hold up. It has made a slight new high. Some shorters might say to, try to time a double top or something, but I think it's too early to tell that. It's at a key level. If you had looked at that key level last week and just randomly shorted it, you would have done pretty well initially. But yeah, that's really where it's at. Just a key level, still dull, still really difficult to short off of those zones. Now let's move to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's an interesting one because it keeps trying to break out and go towards that 46.48 that we've talked about. But have a look here at the weekly or the daily 20. Look at this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, notably, it hasn't made a new higher high. So I think that's pretty important when it comes to Bitcoin. It looks like it could be a double top and maybe it will weaken off, but we don't know it yet. And I think the 20 moving average might be one of the keys. So something to be watching. At this stage, the trend's still up and it still could be on track for that 46 to 48K range. When you're looking at news, is there anything for the week ahead? Not really. Very basic news. This is that time where it's more illiquid. Sometimes spreads get out. If you trade exotic pairs, such as some weird currencies, I'd be very cautious about entering in, guys. In my experience, the best thing to do is generally to stick with the more liquid, high quality pairs, because sometimes the spreads just get so wide they can bash you around. If you have a story about that, let us know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll bring them up for the next video because they can be great learning experiences for so many people in the community. Thanks so much again for making 2023 amazing for us here at FX Evolution. I want to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed, liked the videos, and of course commented down below, joined in on our community, or of course joined in on live streams. We've got big plans for 24, so thanks to you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.